Coming up right now in Marlborough this week, in an effort to ensure no child goes hungry, the summer lunch program launched once again this year. After a routine water sample at Memorial Beach, the area was closed to the public this week. Plus, Labor Day parade details have been revealed, and later in this half hour, the Rotary Club has a new president. Those stories and more are coming up right now on Marlborough This Week. Welcome to Marlborough This Week. I'm Kristen Doucette. Let's begin with the city's summer lunch program. The annual Marlborough Children's Summer Lunch Program kicked off on Monday, and the program needs help serving about 1,000 meals a week. Volunteers put the lunches together on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays at 9 a.m. at Metro Church, located at 401 Elm Street.
We come in and we prepare the lunches for the summer lunch program. We started out with 170 lunches this year on Monday. Today we're doing 190. In the height of the program will be anywhere often upwards, up around 300 lunches that we make on a morning.
The program typically serves children who receive free or reduced lunches at school. The program's end coincides with the beginning of the school year.
Every lunch gets a sandwich, a fruit, a snack, and a 100% juice drink in it. And we bag them up, put them together, and put them in groups to the different organizations that use this program for the kids.
Children pick up the lunches at the Youth Center at Countryside Village, the Boys and Girls Club, the Marlborough Police Substation on French Hill, and public schools that offer summer programs. The program is in its 6th year and runs solely on donations and volunteer efforts.
We have oftentimes up to 4 people making sandwiches. We need 2 to 3 people to wash the fruit. We need 3 or 4 people to just prepare, bag up the lunches, separate everything and put it out. We need people to drive the lunches over to the locations. And then there's the stuff that goes on outside of this, like buying all the food, bringing it in, helping to carry the food in and the prepared lunches out. So it does, and it's all a volunteer. It's an all-volunteer program. So the people who are here are volunteering their time always.
Marlborough Price Chopper donates the cheese, bread, and fruit. Other businesses and community groups have donated juice boxes and snacks. The Arthur Lambert Memorial Basketball Tournament also donates to this program.
We still have a big bill. We have to go get all the other supplies like snacks and juice and bags. We need lunch bags, papers, stuff to clean up with, but all that comes out of our fund.
Residents can drop off donations of 100% juice boxes and individually wrapped peanut-free snacks at the Metro Church on the mornings that volunteers put together the lunches. Supporters can also mail checks to the Marlborough Regional Chamber of Commerce at 11 Florence Street, payable to Marlborough Children's Summer Lunch Program. To volunteer, please call 508-624-7595 or go to Metro Church on a morning the program puts together lunches. Again, it's Mondays, Tuesdays, Fridays at 9 a.m. at the Metro Church at 401 Elm Street. This is a great opportunity to teach your kids the importance of giving back. Silverstein takes advantage of this opportunity each year.
Both of my kids will come in with me. They get up, they feel like they've accomplished something in the day. And in the end, this year, for the first time, we'll also make a delivery. So they have a much more concrete sense of how it helps and who it helps and that it works.
At the school committee meeting Tuesday night, Superintendent Anthony Pope received positive reviews through an evaluation of his job presented by school committee member Margaret Dwyer. Pope started last July and has helped bring on new initiatives in the schools, including a grade reorganization plan and a science, technology, engineering, and math academy, both of which will begin next school year. The buildings will have a new grade setup. The elementary schools will jump from K-3 to K-4. The Whitcomb School will go from grades 4 to 7 to 5 to 8, and Marlborough High School will change from grades 8 to 12 to 9 to 12. In addition, the middle school will have athletics. The STEM Early College High School will start out with 200 students in grades 6 and 9 and will teach curriculum with a focus on science, technology, engineering, and math. Pope thanks school staff, students, and parents for their work throughout this year. Pope has also compiled a self-evaluation that he planned to post on the school department's website at mps-edu.org by the end of this week. To continue with education in the city, a local community college is teaming up with city officials to offer higher education in the area. A discussion took place on Tuesday afternoon at a Chamber of Commerce luncheon. In October of last year, Quinsigamond Community College announced that they were looking to open a satellite campus in the Marlborough area. Today, the college has numerous college credit night classes planned for Assabet Valley Regional Technical High School this fall.
We have been working for about 9 months on bringing together Quinsigamond Community College, the Marlborough Regional Chamber of Commerce, Assabet Valley Technical High School, bringing us all together to see how we can attract higher ed classes here in the Marlborough region.
The courses come after Quinsigamond teamed up with Nichols College and the Marlborough Chamber of Commerce to bring the programs to Assabet.
Nichols has a long history in Worcester County, but on the south side of the county. And so the opportunity for them to bring their educational programming in partnership with us to Marlborough adds incredible value to our opportunities here.
Suzanne Morielli-Lieber, Chamber President and CEO, says the partnership between the Chamber and Quinsigamond is vital to Metro West for attracting better jobs.
My vision is to educate from kindergarten, preschool, all the way up to master's degrees. And with the course that they're offering, in conjunction with Nichols College, a student can go right from high school, start taking college classes at Assabet, and then going further to get their associate's degree, and then going further with Nichols, just flow right into the Nichols bachelor's degree. And then maybe someday to the master's degree.
Gail Carberry, president of the Worcester College, states that a certification course in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning systems, or HVAC, will also be available. The HVAC certification program is designed to get both high school students and adults into the workforce quickly. The college plans to add even more courses, including clean energy training, solar sales and servicing courses, home energy retrofitting instruction, and sustainable living classes, some of which may be daytime classes.
The nice thing is Assabet Valley's folks who deal with this actually wanted to do this and had gone after some grant funding and didn't work out. We're fortunate that we have a relationship with Hudson Valley Community College, who's leading a regional grant to do this type of certification and training. So not only will our faculty be trained and certified, but also Assabet Valley will as well.
The college will continue to work with local school districts to provide courses during the school day in the fall. Lieber states that after all of the hard work that was put into making this happen, it's great to finally have it coming up this fall.
Very exciting for our community, it really is, and it's nice to see that something you've worked on multiple years has come to fruition. And I really believe that Marlborough is a destination for many things, and already the city of Marlborough has been voted the best place to educate a child. Well, this is going to be just the icing on the cake.
After a routine water sample at Memorial Beach, the area was closed to the public this week. We spoke with the Board of Health to discuss what happened. The Marlborough Recreation Department announced Tuesday on the city's website that Memorial Beach at 686 Hosmer Street would be closed for a short time due to high bacteria levels in the water. We spoke with Marlborough's Assistant Sanitarian Deidre O'Connor, the person who originally discovered the elevated bacteria levels, to find out more.
Typically, the beaches are tested the week before they open and then every week, usually on Tuesdays. If there is an exceedance of the state limits, the lab, microbac, will call us immediately, and then we'll clear the beach, take another test, and hopefully it comes back lower, and then we can open the beach again.
A high E. coli count in the water at Memorial Beach forced the closure on Tuesday afternoon.
There have been a lot of beach closings because of the heat, and that's generally because organisms grow more rapidly in warmer temperatures, and the water is concentrating the organisms as well.
Samples from the beach are taken frequently and are allowed to grow for 24 hours before they are examined.
They have to let them grow in the medium and then count them.
The state limit in a sample is 235, and the results from two different areas of the beach were 290 and 540.
It exceeded the state limits. The state puts these limits on to protect the public. The source of the E. coli is often wildlife, geese, ducks. There's always the potential that it is human in origin, and that's what we are worried about.
The high levels of bacteria could be due to a variety of reasons. Water patterns and currents are definite contributing factors.
Wildlife, weather, water temperature, you see fluctuations in the counts. Whatever that spot was could be moved along.
There were no closures in Marlborough last year. This occurrence is an unpredictable situation.
The lake is a living thing. It's not like you can chlorinate it like a pool. So it's subject to currents and wind, movement of wildlife, things like that. So it's a little bit unpredictable, but the limits have been put there to safeguard the public.
Those concerned with the closure should not be worried. The results from this particular sampling were not dangerously high levels.
They were on the low end of exceedance, let's put it that way. They weren't panic modes, something is really wrong. These are expected exceedances that you see in a sort of in an ecosystem like this.
Still to come as we continue with Marlborough this week, the Marlborough Triathlon is just a week away, and organizers still need volunteers. But first, details about the 60th Annual Labor Day Parade were revealed on Wednesday. We're back with that story after this short break. Please stay with us.
This is Ducky Duck. Ducky Duck is really no different than you and I. You see, Ducky enjoys using Marlborough's rivers, streams, lakes, and ponds for travel, leisure, and even for drinking water. But Ducky needs your help. When humans mistake stormwater drains for sewers, it causes many problems. While sewers are connected to the plumbing in our houses, stormwater catch basins are completely separate and flow directly into our public water supply. Polluted waterways can affect the quality of our drinking water, our wildlife, and the overall health of our city. So when you discard trash, fertilizers, or oils into these drains, it's bad news for Ducky and for you. Help keep our waterways clean.
Welcome back to Marlborough this week. A Labor Day Parade press conference was held this week right outside City Hall to discuss the upcoming festivities in September. Mayor Nancy Stevens, Parade Director Ed Thurber, and Recreation Director Dave Grasso made the announcement.
I'm so pleased to be here this afternoon to announce the 60th Annual Marlborough Labor Day Parade, which will kick off at 12 noon on Monday, September 5th. Marlborough is once again proud to host this tremendous family event, and we're hoping all the families and residents come out and participate. This year's theme is a great theme. It's Our Children, Our Future. It's important that we remember that our children hold the key to our hopes, dreams, and expectations for tomorrow's future. The values, principles, knowledge, and skills that we instill in our children today form the foundation for which that future is built. I'm asking that all entries in the parade incorporate this theme and concept into their entries and floats. The parade will follow the traditional parade route, which we will kick off at Lincoln Street and Pleasant Street, head west on Lincoln Street, south on Broad Street, and then east on West Main, continuing on to Main Street, and then south on Maple Street, ending at John and Harvard Streets. Individuals, schools, churches, veterans, businesses, community and civic groups are encouraged to participate in this wonderful event. Applications can be obtained at the Recreation Department at 239 Concord Road or right here in City Hall at the Mayor's office on the 4th floor. I want to thank Ed Thurber for his 3rd year as our parade director, and thank you so much for doing just such a wonderful job. It's been a great pleasure working with you over the last 3 years. And to Dave Grasso, our recreation director, for everything he does and his involvement in the parade. I'm really looking forward to this, our 60th annual parade, and I hope to see you all there on a beautiful Monday, September 5th, right down here in downtown Marlborough.
Race organizers are looking for more volunteers for the upcoming Marlborough Triathlon. On race day, which will take place on Sunday, July 10th, volunteers will help at registration and will work on street corners for the biking and running portion of the race. To volunteer, please email Leslie Crowley at leslie.crowley@yahoo.com, and for more information, please visit marlboroughtri.com. Coming up, the Rotary Club has a new president, and we'll have your Pet of the Week. Don't move. We'll be right back.
Hi, firefighter Mark Asenko here with some safe summer tips for you. The number of water-related deaths has risen in the past few years. Here are a few tips to keep you and your loved ones safe. Do not overload your boat. Capsizing and falls overboard can lead to fatal accidents. Always be prepared. Make sure you wear your life jacket. Alcohol is the leading contributing factor to fatal boat accidents, so please do not drink and boat. And always remember, be smart, be aware, be water safe. Hi, firefighter Mark Asenko here with some safe summer tips for you. It's okay to enjoy the many professional supervised firework displays in Massachusetts. But remember, it's illegal to possess and use fireworks in the state of Massachusetts, and that means you. In the past decade, there have been nearly 700 major fire and explosion incidents involving illegal fireworks. So remember, be smart, be safe, and leave the fireworks to the professionals.
Welcome back to Marlborough this week. The Rotary Club held their weekly meeting this past Thursday where they installed the new president. We spoke with Elaine McDonald to see how she feels about her new position.
Elaine, now say "I will" if you are prepared and willing to accept the challenges of the office of President of the Rotary Club of Marlborough.
And with that comes a new chapter for the Marlborough Rotary Club. Past President Lynn Faust hands over the gavel, making it official, and Elaine McDonald is your new Rotary Club president.
It feels wonderful. It's an opportunity to really give back to the local community and projects that we do internationally through our polio program. We're trying to eradicate that. We're almost there.
Lynn is pleased with her time as president.
I've had a great year this year as president of Marlborough Rotary Club. We've poured thousands of dollars into the community in terms of scholarships, donations to local nonprofit groups that do amazing things, and we've had great fellowship together.
Faust believes McDonald's credentials make her the perfect fit to lead the club.
Elaine McDonald's in a position that she is so well suited for. She's an amazing business leader. She's been a great student during the year to see how the Rotary Club goes, and she's just going to have an amazing year, and she has an amazing group to work with. So I'm just really proud of her, and I'm looking forward to her year.
In addition to McDonald, the rest of the officers were installed during the meeting. Elaine is proud of the work Rotary does to help raise money for graduating seniors, but she also mentioned some of the other programs the Rotary is involved in.
We also are involved in the dictionary project where the 3rd and 4th graders get a dictionary every year, which is very exciting. We also do holiday gift baskets during Thanksgiving and during Christmas. And we just try to do the best that we can with the tools that we have to make it a better place to live in the Marlborough area.
For Marlborough This Week, I'm Rob O'Keefe.
Today we have Danny, and Danny is a little mixed breed pup. He's about 5 months old. He's not going to be very big, but he is very sweet, and he's already neutered and up to date on all his vaccines and ready to be adopted. So if you'd like to know more about Danny or any of his other brothers and sisters that are here at Buddy Dog, please feel free to call us. The number is 978-443-6990.
The city's summer concert series started at Union Common this week with the John Penny Band. The concerts will take place Thursday nights from 7 to 9 p.m. and will feature 9 different bands this summer. The event will be held rain or shine. And before we go, don't forget, you can find all the information you need on our Facebook page. Just search WMCT-TV and become a fan. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Marlborough This Week. I'm Kristen Doucette. Thanks for joining us. We are taking a break from the news next week, so have a great holiday weekend, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks. Coming up right now in Marlborough this week, the 3rd annual Marlborough Triathlon drew hundreds of athletes to the city and raised money for great causes. An electrical explosion on East Main Street left many without power. Plus, Employment Options has received great news from the State House. And later in this half hour, after a 5-year absence, semi-pro football is returning to Marlborough. Those stories and more are coming up right now on Marlborough This Week. Welcome to Marlborough This Week. I'm Kristen Doucette. Let's begin with this week's top story.
The start of the 3rd annual Marlborough Triathlon began right here in comfortable 77-degree water. But for some participants, the start of preparation began months and even years ago. Athletes and spectators came from near and far to enjoy today's festivities, and with nearly 400 participants in today's race, the triathlon's following is certainly growing with each year. With music blasting before the race, the mood was energetic, and it's this atmosphere that attracts athletes to the Marlborough Triathlon. The swimming portion kicked off the race at Fort Meadow, followed by 3 full bike loops and 2 running loops, finishing at Marlborough High. Racers participated in the triathlon for different reasons, such as Carol Casella, who felt 2011 was the right time for her.
It was New Year's Eve. I was on the couch and I decided that seemed like a good time to make that decision. I'd actually been road racing for quite a while, so now this is sort of like on the bucket list, the next step.
The triathlon is just as exciting for spectators as it is for athletes, especially for Aubrey Barr, who was there supporting her husband and a longtime friend.
Nicely done, 369. We're here to support my husband, a native of Marlborough, Massachusetts, Jim Barr. We're here with our 2 children, Ava and Adam, and we're also here to support one of Jim's dearest friends from his childhood, Steve Vidgen. Go Vidge, you can do it!
And I also like to introduce you to 2 very special friends, Dick and Rick Hoyt. Let's hear it for the Hoyts.
Marlborough Triathlon favorites Dick and Rick Hoyt, also known as Team Hoyt, finished out the race strong with a warm welcome from the crowd. Their appearance is a driving force to bring attendance up at the Marlborough Triathlon. Olympian Jared Schumacher also made an appearance at the race. Although he only participated in the swimming portion, he also helped out with coordinating the day's events. Peter Mallett, the men's Pro Elite winner, says he participated in triathlons around the country, but he particularly enjoys the Marlborough race.
I'm local right now. I'm living in Boston, so it's right near here and an easy shot. It's a good race. I did this last year as well, and Bill Burnett runs an excellent couple of races, so it's really fun to come and join in.
As for the women's Pro Elite winner, she says this was the first triathlon she officially trained for.
I think it's just good atmosphere, a lot of people around, good pre-race setup, good course. I like the loops. It was good being able to see the spectators every time instead of just kind of being out in the middle of nowhere.
We spoke with co-founder and coordinator Tim Crowley to hear what he thought about this year's race.
Being the 3rd year that we've run this event, it's getting a little bit easier, at least it feels like it's easier because things run smoothly, we get to iron out the details, and I think it just makes for a much better overall event. Turnout was about the same as was last year, which is actually really good because we are about 3 weeks earlier than we were, and then people set up their race calendars and schedules ahead of time, and we were right up against several other good races in New England, so I think that was a really good for us. These races aren't possible without the help of a lot of volunteers. The high school athletic director and the support that we get from the high school and the boosters program, all the volunteers that show up to help out the race, because without them the race couldn't be done, as well as we get a lot of cooperation from the Hudson and Marlborough police and fire, and again, without them we can't put on a safe event for the athletes.
As perfect as this day was with the sun shining, the race went on without a hitch as well. If you've never been to a Marlborough Triathlon, you should definitely come down next year, even if you have to swim, bike, or run to get here. Reporting for Marlborough This Week, I'm Melanie Francis.
The Marlborough Fire Department had their hands full this week with 2 major events, one on Monday and Tuesday night. Here are the details on both incidents.
Just sitting in my living room watching TV, and all of a sudden I just heard a huge explosion. I ran out here, and the lines over there were just sparking like crazy.
A section of the city lost power Monday night after 2 power lines fell and a manhole exploded at the corner of Church and East Main Streets. A power line had already fallen when firefighters arrived on the scene around 7 p.m.
The fire department came and told everybody to back away, and said that it might blow again. And sure enough, like a couple minutes later, it just blew up, and then a second line came down, and it was a huge flash.
National Grid arrived quickly to shut down the power while the fire department worked to put out the flames. The fire department had the problems under control within about 45 minutes. Around 1,000 National Grid customers lost power just before 8 p.m. Everyone had their power back on by 11:30. Authorities shut down a stretch of Route 20 in the area for about 3 hours. No one was hurt. Fast forward to Tuesday afternoon as a fire gutted an apartment on Route 20, leaving at least 1 resident homeless and causing traffic buildup at the beginning of rush hour. According to a press release provided by the fire department, firefighters received a 911 call from Cider Hill Condominiums at 198 Boston Post Road East at 3:32 p.m. after a resident of apartment 7 reported that a fan had exploded in a bedroom. Firefighters from nearby Station 3 arrived less than a minute after receiving the call. The 2-bedroom condo was gutted and caused heavy smoke and heat damage to apartments on the 2nd floor. Preliminary damage estimates are $125,000. Residents couldn't go into the building until about 7:30 p.m. when firefighters left. The Red Cross helped those living in apartment 7 where the fire started. As this year's municipal election gets closer, potential candidates continue to pull papers for nomination. 2 more sets were pulled this week. Paul Broder pulled papers for Councilor at Large, and Richard Jenkins took out paperwork for the Ward 2 council seat. For Mayor, Jim Masso returned his certified paperwork, and he is an official candidate. City Council President Arthur Vigent is in the middle of the process. Nilsa Roman has also pulled papers for mayor. Current office holders who have pulled papers for re-election include Councilor at Large Michael Ossing, Councilor at Large Patricia Pope, Ward 1 Councilor Joseph Delano, Ward 2 Councilor Paul Farrow, Ward 3 Councilor Matt Elder, Ward 4 Councilor Robert Chinera, Ward 5 Councilor Robert Seymour, Ward 6 Councilor Edward Clancy, Ward 7 Councilor Donald Landers, and school committee members Margaret Dwyer and Catherine Hennessy. Assabet Valley Regional Vocational School Committee member Joseph Vagliarati is an official candidate as he returned his certified papers. School committee member Kathleen Roby pulled papers for her current seat on the school committee and also for Councilor at Large. Other potential challengers include Joe Collins, Mark Evangelis, and Mark Orm for Councilor at Large, George Stein for Ward 3 Councilor, and Mark Stakonis for Assabet Valley Regional Vocational School Committee member. Todd Bokeman has returned his certified paperwork for the Ward 7 Councilor position, and he is an official candidate. Mayor, 4 Councilor at Large spots, 7 Ward Councilor positions, 3 Marlborough School Committee seats, and Marlborough's Assabet Valley seat are on the ballot this year. Potential candidates have until August 12th at 5 p.m. to pick up nomination papers from the city clerk's office. Governor Deval Patrick signed legislation last week that will allow the Vin Bin to move to its new location in the old fire station on Main Street. The legislation will allow the shop that specializes in gourmet beer, wine, and cheese to also sell liquor. The legislation was needed because the city does not have any more full liquor licenses to distribute to retail businesses. The governor also announced that last week that 41 cities and towns across the Commonwealth will receive $28 million in federal community development block grants. Marlborough is set to receive $900,000 for housing and road and sidewalk repair. Funding will support housing, business development, and public services projects. Employment Options, our local nonprofit organization that helps those with mental illness, recently got good news from the State House regarding Department of Mental Health funding. We spoke with Tony Wolf, Executive Director of Employment Options, to get the details.
As an agency, we have always been heavily funded by the state, and we certainly know the risk that is, and that's not new news for us. But I think the last 3 years have been much more challenging.
Months after being faced with significant budget cuts once again this year, Employment Options is in the clear thanks to the governor's recent budget approval.
We were threatened with a 13% budget cut. That's an enormous budget cut. And so we really felt like we had to really rally the troops. And so again, we did a huge social networking kind of campaign. We rented a bus and brought in folks into the State House.
The rally at the State House drew in hundreds of Clubhouse Coalition members to express how they feel about clubhouses in Massachusetts.
We went door to door to legislators with our, this is what we need. We can't endure a 13% cut. We understand that state revenue is down, but you really need to look at how else can you preserve the services that are so needed for vulnerable people.
Employment Options has been faced with numerous cuts over the last few years, but as long as they are able, they will continue to fight.
I can't tell you enough how many legislators kept saying, you have to keep coming back. You have to keep, rallying. You have to keep showing the numbers of people that really care about what you do. And it does pay off. It's a lot of energy, and it does sometimes sidetrack you from the business you're really supposed to be doing, which is servicing real people in real need.
For this year, clubhouses all over Massachusetts are safe.
Across the board, it's been state funded. So all the clubhouses through the Massachusetts Clubhouse Coalition have been not affected by budget cuts. And in fact, the Department of Mental Health actually has received additional dollars. We don't know yet what that means, but the fact that for the first time, Department of Mental Health actually got additional dollars is a big deal.
Looking ahead, Wolf knows that the fight is not over, but she remains optimistic.
Things are going to take time. Foundations are taking time in terms of the revenue that they used to see and what they're seeing now. So I think it's still going to be a challenging year for all nonprofits, and particularly small nonprofits like us.
These challenges have forced Options to look at other ways to bring in funding for the clubhouse.
We're trying to find ways that fits our mission, that brings in some revenue, so that we can say to the general public, we're doing it all. Okay, we're trying to raise money by private fundraising. We're expecting state dollars, and at the same token, we also want to be a business practice.
Still to come as we continue with Marlborough this week, Harry Potter Mania took place at Ward Park in celebration of this week's movie release. But first, a fundraiser to help those who served our country. We're back with that story after this short break. Please stay with us.
Hi, I'm Gina Lettery with the Buddy Dog Humane Society, here with some summer safety tips for you and your pet. Did you know the inside of your car can reach 120 degrees in a matter of minutes, even if you're parked in the shade? If you must travel with your pet, make sure all windows are cracked and never leave the car for more than a few minutes. Remember that just like humans, the heat can overcome pets as well. Always carry some water with you, and always check for signs of heat exhaustion, like extremely rapid panting, glazed over eyes, vomiting, and an unsteady walk. If you do see any of these signs, you can bring the body temperature down by pouring cool water over the pet or placing the pads of the feet gently in a bowl of water. Follow these simple rules and your buddy will thank you.
Welcome back to Marlborough this week. Mayor Nancy Stevens held a press conference at City Hall Tuesday afternoon to kick off the Disabled American Veterans annual Forget-Me-Not campaign.
I'm so pleased to be here to kick off the summer 2011 Forget Me Not campaign for our disabled American veterans. With me today is Bob Page, Commander of Chapter 82 of the DAV, and First Vice Commander Arthur Doty also from Chapter 82 of the DAV. I want to thank you both for being here and for the DAV's commitment to helping our disabled veterans. It's my honor, my pleasure to present a proclamation. Whereas our community has a continuing sense of gratitude toward veterans who gave so much to preserve our freedom, and whereas the Disabled American Veterans Organization has worked exclusively for the welfare of veterans, especially the Marlborough Chapter 82 of the DAV, which was established to carry on this work. And whereas the DAV provides services to disabled veterans and their families in filing claims for government benefits and assists in numerous other job-related, health care, employment, and related problems of disabled veterans. And whereas the Disabled American Veterans Organization will be holding its annual fundraising campaign throughout the summer of 2011 in Marlborough,
and has announced that all funds contributed during the campaign will be utilized for disabled veterans in the city of Marlborough. Now, therefore, I, Nancy E. Stevens, Mayor, do hereby issue this public statement of acknowledgement to the Disabled American Veterans Forget-Me-Not campaign in the city of Marlborough and urge all patriotic citizens to purchase a Forget-Me-Not as evidence of our gratitude to the men and women who risked their lives in defense of the freedom which we continue to enjoy as American citizens. Signed under my hand and seal in the Executive Chamber of City Hall, Nancy E. Stevens, Mayor. I want to remind all of our citizens, when you see a veteran at the grocery store or at one of the local retail establishments, when you see the can and the Forget-Me-Nots, please take the opportunity to contribute to this. Again, it goes all back to helping disabled veterans here in the city of Marlborough. I hope that our summer 2011 Forget-Me-Not campaign is the best we've ever had.
To celebrate the release of the new Harry Potter film, children came together at Ward Park on Thursday night, and we were there to catch the action.
Harry Potter.
It was Harry Potter mania at Ward Park on Thursday night as Harry Potter superfans met to celebrate the release of the series' new movie, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. Children from all ages got the chance to play Harry Potter's favorite game, Quidditch.
The kids are going to split up into teams and play Harry Potter's favorite game. And they're also going to do a craft, making their own golden snitches, and they're doing some activity sheets. And then for a snack, we have cauldron cakes.
Julie Terra-Salamoa is a huge Harry Potter fan and says it gives you a little bit of everything.
It's just like this whole action adventure, and it's kind of like just all the type of things. Like there's hints of comedy in it sometimes, and there's romance, and there's adventure, and there's just like everything wrapped into the book series and the movie series.
Julie recommends that all children should get into the movies and the books.
They're just gonna fall in love with it and want to keep reading it, and I hope Harry Potter lasts throughout the decades.
Laurel Douglas, who will be a 6th grader in the fall, loves the books as well for different reasons.
It has great connection throughout the books. It's well written. There's a lot of description of the characters. It all kind of clicks once you read the whole books.
She suggests that children start reading the books at age 11 with book 1 and continue on from there.
I definitely recommend growing up with Harry. Like when you're 11, you read the first one, 12, second. So you're kind of at that age level, right where Harry's at the age level. That's what I did.
The children's summer reading program at the library has exciting things planned for the rest of this summer, and it's not too late to sign up.
Our summer reading theme is World Cultures. So every week we're celebrating a different continent. This week is Europe Week, which fits Harry Potter. And we have a couple more weeks left, and then we'll have our closing ceremonies, which will be an Ellis Island experience.
All are welcome to join, and the events are free. The Organization for the Assabet River is once again providing free workshops for kids this summer to help them better understand the world around them. The workshops started up on Thursday and will continue through August.
You can think about the way you live and make it more environmentally friendly, and that it's a really easy and simple thing, and it just involves having the knowledge and being conscious about it. And I think kids have really learned that.
These outdoor community workshops offer children ages 6 to 10 a fun, hands-on chance to explore rivers, creatures, water conservation, and much more. The 2011 workshops will be held from July 14th through August 11th at Memorial Beach on Thursdays from 9 to 11 a.m. Since 2004, the Organization for the Assabet River has offered these 6 water-wise workshops.
We've been doing them for 9 years. They happen in Marlborough and Westborough, Stowe and Sudbury. And this summer there will be children from Marlborough and Westborough and Hudson, all these towns, who will be learning about aquatic life, about how watersheds work, about how to test water.
Through demonstrations, hands-on activities, lively group discussions, and personal interactions with plants and wildlife, the participants are encouraged to look closer at their own relationships with the environment and build on their knowledge of the natural world.
We've talked about storm drains, how storm drains connect directly from their neighborhood to the lake, and that's a really direct thing that kids have been able to understand, that what they do at their house affects their the local waterway and the local environment. And that's sort of the main point of this, I think, the whole series in general, to say you can think about the way you live and make it more environmentally friendly.
Last summer, more than 100 children continued their education by taking part in the WaterWise workshops.
Even though we have a lot of environmental problems, these are really simple things that the kids already, if not already, really do learn really quickly, and it's really intuitive, and they're excited to be learning about the environment and what they can do.
Registration is required. Please call the OARS office at 978-369-3956 to register or to get more information. Marlborough will soon be the site for some of the state's top youth softball talent, as the Marlborough Girls Softball program will host its third annual Diamond Cat Classic tournament this weekend and next. This year's Diamond Cat Classic will attract a record 20 teams from throughout Massachusetts competing across 3 age divisions.
Over the 3 divisions, we will end up welcoming 17 different towns over the next 2 weeks, and they are coming from all over the state.
The 12 under and 14 under tourneys will be played on July 15th through the 17th, followed by the 10 and under division on July 22nd through the 24th.
Softball has taken off in Marlborough, especially at the girls' youth levels, and to the point where we are developing some terrific talent in terms of our players. And we also feel that we have some of the best facilities in all of Massachusetts. And this tournament gives us an opportunity to showcase both.
In addition to the Marlborough Diamond Cat teams, participating towns include Auburn, Braintree, Holliston, Hopkinton, Hudson, Leominster, Methuen, Millbury, Newton, Northborough, Southborough, Somerset, Wachusett, Webster, and Worcester.
I think Marlborough has embraced youth sports as a whole at all different levels, whether it be basketball, softball, baseball, soccer, and it's just a great area to showcase youth sports and how Marlborough supports youth sports.
The entire tournament is free to the public and will take place at the Baldelli Softball Complex at the Hildreth School in Marlborough.
This is our largest field ever, so it's growing, and I think that's terrific. And again, it calls just more attention to how great softball is in Marlborough, and our teams have become very competitive, and we're ready to take on the best there is in Massachusetts.
Tournament game schedules can be found at marlboroughgirlssoftball.com.
Basically turn it into a mini Fenway Park atmosphere. We have a full concession stand in operation. We will have player introductions. We will have music in between innings. We will have the fans singing Sweet Caroline, all amidst some very competitive softball.
For more information, please contact Paul Vaccaro at paulvaccaro@comcast.net. After a 5-year absence, semi-pro football is returning to Marlborough. The Metro West Colonials of the New England Football League will now call this city home.
Yeah, we've been playing out of Framingham and Natick in the past 2 years. We've got the okay to play at the renowned Kelleher Field, home to the previous occupants, the long-time Marlborough Shamrocks, of which I was a part of for 15 years, through the 70s, 80s, and 90s. So we would like everyone in town that has itching for something to do in the summer times and used to be going to the hallowed grounds of Kelleher Field to see teams play, come out and watch the Metro West Colonials, which will feature a handful of local talent here. We have 5 players from the Assabet Valley Super Bowl team playing, 2 players from Marlborough High School playing, a slew of people from Natick and Framingham area that are on our team. It's amateur football, and we're part of a 40-team league, New England Football League, and our opponents are a longtime perennial New England Football League champion Boston Bandits. And we just hope that the city of Marlborough, and surrounding areas will embrace us as the new kids on the block, and come out and see if it's exciting enough for them, and it has been in the past.
The first game will happen this weekend at Kelleher Field. For more information and their full schedule, please visit metrowestcolonials.com. Coming up, how you can help save a dog, and we'll have your pet of the week. Don't move. We'll be right back.
Hi, firefighter Mark Asenko here with some safe summer tips for you. The number of water-related deaths has risen in the past few years. Here are a few tips to keep you and your loved ones safe. Do not overload your boat. Capsizing and falls overboard can lead to fatal accidents. always be prepared. Make sure you wear your life jacket. Alcohol is the leading contributing factor to fatal boat accidents, so please do not drink and boat. And always remember, be smart, be aware, be water safe.
Welcome back to Marlborough This Week. Save a Dog in Sudbury is a Massachusetts-based humane society that focuses on saving abandoned dogs. We spoke with the founder of the organization this week to find out more. Since 1999, Shirley Moore and her husband have been giving animals a second chance through their shelter.
Save a Dog is a humane society, and we were founded in 1999. And in the beginning, first 10 years, my husband and I ran it out of our home. And now we have a wonderful place in Sudbury at 604 Boston Post Road.
Moore embraces her job, trying her best to find the best home for every animal.
Our main focus is to take in dogs that have been abandoned or turned in by their owners, or sometimes we'll do a big rescue from a shelter that's what we call a high volume shelter. We work with some big shelters in Springfield, Mass. And we also work with some out-of-state shelters that are really overwhelmed, especially this time of year. Everybody's bursting at the seams.
Due to the economy, pet owners may be feeling the pinch of a job loss, making buying pet food difficult. So Save a Dog created their own version of Meals on Wheels.
Last year we started a Meals on Wheels program for pets, particularly for pets. And you don't have to be a total shut-in, but if you've lost your job, or you're on a fixed income like many of our seniors where, you know, everything's going up in price and they can't afford pet food. We have both cat and dog food, and it tends to be high quality food because we want the pets to, you know, be able to stay out of the vet and, you know, help the people with vet costs. You know, if their animal's on a healthy food, then they're less apt to be spending the money at the vet.
Save a Dog feels they differ from other animal shelters with their holistic approach to care.
Instead of just loading the dog up with vaccines, we give them minimal vaccines, but we'll, you know, provide a really good quality food as well as holistic supplements and homeopathy. I'm trained in homeopathy, so we can give homeopathic remedies for a lot of the simple things like kennel cough and, you know, stomach upsets and so forth. Even fear, a lot of the remedies will address fear issues in dogs.
Volunteers are welcome to donate their time, whether it be in the shelter or at one of their fundraisers. The shelter is also looking for donations. Blankets, toys, and towels are always needed. For more information, please visit saveadog.org.
Today we have little Pino, and Pino is a little female tiger kitten, and she's very sweet and friendly, and she's just one of the many, many cats that we have here at Buddy Dog right now, ready for adoption. Everybody's been seen by the veterinarian, had all their vaccines, and if they're over 4 months, they've been spayed and neutered too. So come on down and see all the great kitties that we have at Buddy Dog. If you'd like more information about Pino, please call us at 978-443-6990.
Before we go, don't forget you can find all the information you need on our Facebook page. Just search WMCT-TV and become a fan. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Marlborough This Week. I'm Kristen Doucette. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again next week. Coming up right now in Marlborough This Week, at Monday's City Council meeting, residents supported a cancer care expansion at Marlborough Hospital. The John Brown Bell, which resides on Union Common, got some attention this week, and later in this half hour, if you missed out on the Marlborough girls softball tournament last weekend, you still have a chance to see them in action this weekend. Those stories and more coming up right now on Marlborough This Week. Welcome to Marlborough This Week. I'm Kristen Doucette. Let's begin with this week's Committee Corner. Representatives from Marlborough Hospital presented their plans Monday night for a new cancer pavilion to the City Council. During a public hearing, residents gave support for the proposed $11.7 million expansion at Marlborough Hospital, which officials say will improve the facility's ability to treat cancer patients. Residents did state that there are a few minor concerns, but no one at the hearing spoke against the plan. Many residents at the hearing have gone through cancer treatments themselves and welcome having this type of cancer care close to home.
I got diagnosed with cancer last year, 29 years old. And to have a hospital like Marlborough Hospital and have the personnel there, incredible.
There's little doubt in my mind that if we take this dedicated group of professionals and house them in a state-of-the-art facility, that we're not only going to enhance the quality of life of people, we're going to prolong it.
Having had many family members with cancer, I can appreciate the emotional strain that goes with traveling to Boston for treatment. Certainly anything that alleviates the burden to families is both noble and worthy.
The impact that it'll make on our community and for all those that suffer from cancer will be incredible.
We all deserve it. I think our family members deserve it, and I urge you to support the building of the Cancer Pavilion.
The Urban Affairs Committee will consider this project at their next meeting, which will take place on Monday night. To get more details regarding Marlborough Hospital's planned expansion, we sat down with Candy Zamansky, the Chief Operating Officer at Marlborough Hospital, to learn more.
Not everybody will come here for a cure from their cancer, but hopefully they come with some hope that the quality of their life will be better, that they'll extend their life.
Marlborough Hospital announced plans in March to build an $11.7 million, 14,500 square foot addition by 2013. The Cancer Pavilion would be attached to the north side of the hospital and have its own entrance.
This now is about access to UMass Memorial physicians, clinical trials, the best possible medical and nursing care, and with your family in attendance. You know, maybe you can bring 2 people with you because it's not a trip into Boston or a trip to Worcester.
The hospital plans to add 11 full-time staff members and increase the number of cancer patients it serves from about 2,200 to 3,500 each year. The hospital will also be able to offer radiation treatments for the very first time.
You know, for many people, you don't do cancer alone. So at least we hope that they don't. So someone else is having to drive you. So either somebody's taking some time out of work, you know, and then having to use their vacation or their benefit time, or perhaps go without pay. Some people risk their jobs because they have to get a parent back and forth for this treatment every day. So it's by bringing it to the community, we really are saying to folks, we'd like you to be, we want you to stay home and have as many family with you as you want during your therapy.
The hospital does its medical oncology right now on the 2nd floor. Patients are sent to UMass Worcester or other places for radiation, so the new building will merge radiation oncology and medical oncology under one roof.
This will allow any patient who comes here to get the same, to be enrolled in any clinical trial through the NIH that they want to. So they'll be able to do some experimental treatments, all of which they either had to go into Worcester or Boston to participate in before. So we're bringing it all here locally for people. It's just amazing.
The design process for the Cancer Pavilion has lasted 6 months. The hospital formed a project advisory board consisting of patients and families, physicians, nurses, hospital staff, and community members who provided input into the pavilion details.
We incorporated everybody's input into the design, and I think we've really designed something that's fits very well with the hospital's you know, mission and philosophy. It should be warm and welcoming.
Hospital officials are hoping UMass Memorial leaders will vote to fund the project in the next few months and that the project will get its permits by the end of the year.
UMass is very supportive of this, and so they'll just look at their overall capital requests. This is a very challenging year for all hospitals around how much capital money we'll have to spend. But I think they clearly
agree that this is the best thing to do for patients, and financially it's prudent to bring some of this care out to the communities.
Construction could begin as early as January 2012.
We're hoping that people will get incredible cancer care with all the support that they need from us as well as from their families and the community.
Nearly 150 years after the John Brown Bell was taken by Massachusetts soldiers from Harper's Ferry, a man from West Virginia says the bell doesn't belong here and is threatening legal action. We spoke with Paul Broder, a local historian, to get his take on the situation. According to historical documents, the John Brown Bell has been in Marlborough since 1892. It was taken from Harper's Ferry by a group of soldiers from Company 1 of the 13th Massachusetts Volunteers in the summer of 1861.
They were told to recover anything of value, and what they recovered was from federal property. They were given instructions by the federal government to seize property on federal grounds, which they did. And they went up the chain of command. They said, geez, we need a bell, we need a fire bell for our fire station. Can we take the bell? And they were given the okay by the chain of command, and that's how it really came to Marlborough.
A commercial property broker in Charlestown, West Virginia, Howard Swint, is threatening to take the city of Marlborough to federal court to get back the bell where he believes it belongs, to the Engine House building in the National Park at Harper's Ferry.
I think that nothing will come of it. It really would be the people of Marlborough, and more appropriately the John Rollins Association, who owns the bell. They would have to do something that they promised that they would never do, to give the bell away.
Others have tried in the past to get the bell back to the Engine House building, but have been unsuccessful.
There was a mayor of Harper's Ferry who I think had ties to New England, and he was familiar with the story of the bell in Marlborough, and he felt that it would be a nice gesture if we sent it back. And nobody's ever taken the legal route before.
Although Broder feels as though the bell should remain in Marlborough, he's not opposed to the story being told in other areas.
I think that it would be a great idea for some large celebrations that they have in Harper's Ferry to have the National Park Service spend a few dollars to have the thing transported down there, along with some members of the John Rollins Association, and take part in the celebration, tell the Marlborough story, put the Marlborough story on their website. I think that that's the right thing to do.
Coincidentally, the city is about to recognize the 150th anniversary of the taking of the bell in September. Broder thinks this is a great time for all residents to hear the story of the bell. A date for the event has not been set. The city's summer lunch program, which provides lunches for those students who received free or reduced lunches throughout the school year, are in need of volunteers. The group meets every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday morning at the Metro Church. The kitchen at the Metro West Church, located at 401 Elm Street, has been buzzing with activity on Monday, Tuesday, and Friday mornings as the annual summer lunch program continues to provide lunches for those who need it most.
We come in and we prepare the lunches for the summer lunch program. We started out with 170 lunches this year on Monday. Today we're doing 190. In the height of the program will be anywhere often upwards, up around 300 lunches that we make on a morning.
Lunches are distributed at several sites throughout the city, including Countryside Village, the Boys and Girls Club of Metro West, the SMOC office, the police substation on French Hill, Marlborough High School, the Whitcomb School, and the Richer School.
Every lunch gets a sandwich, a fruit, a snack, and a 100% juice drink in it. And we bag them up, put them together, and put them in groups to the different organizations that use this program for the kids.
The group invites teenagers, young adults, and adults who would like to help. Volunteers are needed every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday morning from 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m.
We have oftentimes up to 4 people making sandwiches. We need 2 to 3 people to wash the fruit. We need 3 or 4 people to just prepare, bag up the lunches, separate everything, and put it out. We need people to drive the lunches over to the locations. And then there's the stuff that goes on outside of this, like buying all the food, bringing it in, helping to carry the food in and the prepared lunches out. So it does, and it's all a volunteer. It's an all-volunteer program. So the people who are here are volunteering their time always.
Price Chopper has generously provided bread, sandwich meat, cheese, and fruit. Donations of food and money also come from small and large local businesses, families, faith-based organizations, and many residents.
We still have a big bill. We have to go get all the other supplies, like snacks and juice and bags. We need lunch bags, papers, stuff to clean up with, but all that comes out of our fund.
Anyone wishing to contribute may provide peanut-free, individually wrapped snacks, juice boxes, and money. All can be dropped off at the Marlborough Regional Chamber of Commerce located at 11 Florence Street. Checks made payable to Marlborough Children's Summer Lunch Program can also be mailed to the Chamber office. St. Mary's Credit Union is currently holding their Tools for School supply drive from now until August 3rd. Members of the community can drop off any number of school supplies to any one of St. Mary's 5 branches in Marlborough, Hudson, or Northborough. The supplies will be donated to Marlborough Community Services and the United Way of Tri-County. Still to come as we continue with Marlborough This Week, a nonprofit organization that helps libraries in Massachusetts has moved their offices from Waltham to Marlborough. But first, members of this community who help our seniors got together this week for a social gathering. We're back with that story after this short break. Please stay with us.
Hi, I'm Gina Lettery with the Buddy Dog Humane Society, here with some summer safety tips for you and your pet. We all have places to go and people to see in the summer, so let's take a look at some tips for keeping your pet safe on the go. It may seem cool to let your pet sit next to you in the car, but this can become a distraction for the driver and may cause an accident. Always provide your pet with a well-ventilated crate or carrier when traveling, or use a seatbelt specifically designed for pets. And no matter how cool or fun you think it is, never let your dog travel in the bed of your truck. Even at the lowest speeds, your dog could get ejected from the truck during quick stops and turns. And remember, it's against the law. Always secure a carrier or crate to the bed if you must travel this way. Follow these simple rules and your buddy will thank you.
Welcome back to Marlborough This Week. Members of this community who help our seniors got together this week for a social gathering on Tuesday afternoon. It's a chance for the two groups to catch up, but also to brainstorm new ideas for the coming years. The third annual luncheon of the Council on Aging board members and the Friends of the Marlborough Seniors Board joined together on Tuesday afternoon to talk socially, but also to generate more ideas on how to help the seniors of this community. The Council on Aging is an advisory board to the Council on Aging Director, Jennifer Claro. The board accomplishes numerous tasks throughout the year, but it wouldn't be possible without the help of the Friends of the Marlborough Seniors.
The Friends of the Marlborough Seniors are a fundraising arm of the Council on Aging. We support and subsidize a lot of different events at the Senior Center, and we do fundraisers to sponsor a lot of other events at the Senior Center.
Once a year, these two groups come together to be social, but it's also another venue to discuss events and ideas for the senior population.
The function of both organizations are to provide different things for the seniors, like services and programs and things like that.
Under the direction of the new Council on Aging Director, Jennifer Claro, there will be more services and programs for the seniors in the coming months and years.
We're doing a lot more things at the Senior Center. She has great vision. She's a visionary for the future.
McGuire wishes more seniors took part in the events and services these two groups work so hard to provide.
What we would like to see happen is more seniors get involved in the Senior Center. I would like to see more people take advantage of the things that we have to offer down there. This is open to the seniors in Marlborough, not just the people that are at the Senior Center.
The Marlborough Public Library is working on a plan that will cover the next 5 years, and they need your help. A community survey is now available, and our library director, Margaret Cardello, hopes that all residents take a moment to fill it out. The Marlborough Public Library is looking for community input on a 5-year strategic plan. A planning committee was put together to brainstorm ideas, but Cardello felt as though the answers with how to make the library more user-friendly lies in the public's hands.
It just gives me, as a new director, a sense of what the community really wants, what kinds of things are missing from the library. If they don't come to our library, why don't they come to our library? Why do they go to other libraries? What do they see at other libraries that they'd like to see here? And what kind of services are most important to people?
The survey launched at the beginning of July, and so far the response has been positive.
So far, we've received over 200 responses, and I have to say, people have just been terrific. They've been wonderful comments, just ways in which we could change small things to improve services. We know parking is a real issue, and we always hear about parking, and we certainly expected to hear about it this time, and we have.
Residents can take the survey online at marlborough-ma.gov, or you can pick it up in paper format at the library located at 35 West Main Street.
This survey will be filed with the Mass Board of Library Commissioners at the state level, and will allow us the opportunity to apply for grants through the federal LSTA program.
The survey will be taken down at the end of July, and results will be discussed.
The next step is to really have a sense of where our priorities should be. The mix of services and technology, and how we should change the inside of the library, and as I say, things that we can do, and grants that we can apply for to really help make that happen.
One area of the library that will be evaluated will be the children's room.
So many people come for children's services. How can we brighten the space, make it more welcoming? Those kinds of things, and the feedback will really help us achieve that. It's really important to hear what people want.
Cardella was in her first year as the library's director, and she feels this information is crucial.
Our goal is certainly to have as many people as possible visiting the library on a regular basis. In this economy, we think that it's more and more people should be coming to the library, taking out books, borrowing DVDs, using our computers. So we want to make the services as responsive as possible to what people need, and this feedback is tremendously useful in that regard.
Massachusetts Library Services, which serves 1,700 libraries in Massachusetts, is the newest tenant at Cedar Hill Place, a 3-story building in Marlborough. We spoke with the executive director of the organization to learn more.
We see ourselves as a way to help libraries be successful.
The Massachusetts Library System, which was established in 2010, is a state-supported collaborative with a mission to improve communication, innovation, and sharing among area libraries.
The Massachusetts Board of Library Commissioners is a state agency, and we receive our funding through them too. MLS, the Massachusetts Library System, is 100% state-funded.
The MLS organization promotes access to library services and resources for all who live, work, or study in Massachusetts. In addition, the library system provides services such as delivery, continuing education, advisory, and consulting.
We have 1,750 member libraries throughout the state.
MLS was established in 2010 to consolidate the services of 6 former regional library systems due to the bad economy.
The decision to consolidate was a rational decision to reduce costs in the way that affected libraries the least. Libraries need to be there. They're a part of our democracy, and I hope that the government and the people of Massachusetts recognize that and continue to support libraries.
Currently, there are 2 offices to provide a statewide presence.
It allows us to have people working throughout the state. We have people who operate from other parts of Massachusetts too, because we spend a lot of time in our member libraries, meeting with them, working with them. So we travel around.
According to Pronovitz, the decision to move to Marlborough was easy.
Marlborough has easy access. This location is right off I-495, and it will be easy for members to find their way here and join us in our meeting room for training and other important events.
Despite the consolidation, Massachusetts Library Systems is doing the best they can with the resources at hand in hopes in the future to expand those services.
We know that sometimes times are tough, and we don't argue with being cut proportionally with other organizations, but we hope that when times get better, we can rise proportionally with other organizations.
Coming up, a free girls softball tournament, and we'll have your pet of the week. Don't move. We'll be right back.
Hi, firefighter Mark Asenko here with some safe summer tips for you. The number of water-related deaths has risen in the past few years. Here are a few tips to keep you and your loved ones safe. Do not overload your boat. Capsizing and falls overboard can lead to fatal accidents. Always be prepared. Make sure you wear your life jacket. Alcohol is the leading contributing factor to fatal boat accidents, so please do not drink and boat. And always remember, be smart, be aware, be water safe.
This is Ducky Duck. Ducky Duck is really no different than you and I. You see, Ducky enjoys using Marlborough's rivers, streams, lakes, and ponds for travel, leisure, and even for drinking water. But Ducky needs your help. When humans mistake stormwater drains for sewers, it causes many problems. While sewers are connected to the plumbing in our houses, stormwater catch basins are completely separate and flow directly into our public water supply. Polluted waterways can affect the quality of our drinking water, our wildlife, and the overall health of our city. So when you discard trash, fertilizers, or oils into these drains, it's bad news for Ducky and for you. Help keep our waterways clean.
Welcome back to Marlborough This Week. Last weekend, Marlborough hosted some of the state's top youth softball talent during its annual tournament. If you missed out on this free event, don't worry. The action will continue this weekend. The Girls Softball Diamond Cat Classic Tournament was a hit amongst athletes and fans that took place at the Baldelli Field Complex last Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
The tournament was a success both on and off the field. On the field, we had some terrific softball being played, and the competitive level of the teams was very compatible, and the games were very close for the most part. Off the field, we had over 150 families converge here at Baldelli Field in the complex here, and to a person, we got some great feedback that we run one of the best tournaments around.
Marlborough girls teams competed well as the tournament kicked off on Friday night.
Our U12 team beat Hudson 10-5 in the opener, and then in the nightcap we played a very close game. We beat the Worcester Heat 2-0. In which our pitcher, Gina Yates, struck out 14 batters, gave up 1 hit and no walks over 7 innings.
Athletes specifically commented on how positive this tournament was for them.
Many of the teams that compete are tournament teams, so they're used to doing this like 6 to 8 times during the summer. And the feedback, the response was the hospitality that we provide, the energy that is around this area was electric.
The tournament action will continue this weekend and will feature the girls' Youth 10 games.
I think at the U10 level, people think that this is like just little girls and, it's a home run, everything, the ball gets hit to the infield, and not the case at all. You would be amazed at how the quality of play at this level, and these are really the future stars of tomorrow.
Vaccaro believes that youth sports is a positive experience and prepares young athletes for high school sports and beyond.
Youth sports is a wonderful way for girls to get to know each other, for girls to build camaraderie. It's great discipline. It teaches them teamwork and being active. So there's many reasons why all youth should be participating in sports. And I think Marlborough does it better than anyone, to be quite honest with you.
Today we have Danny, and Danny is a little mixed breed pup. He's about 5 months old. He's not going to be very big, but he is very sweet, and he's already neutered and up to date on all his vaccines and ready to be adopted. So if you'd like to know more about Danny or any of his other brothers and sisters that are here at Buddy Dog, please feel free to call us. The number is 978-443-6990.
The Marlborough Hospital Auxiliary is now accepting applications from vendors for its annual flea market, which will be held on Saturday, September 10th on the hospital grounds on Union Street. Interested residents may contact Barbara at 978-562-3532 for more information. And before we go, don't forget that you can find all the information you need on our Facebook page. Just search WMCT-TV and become a fan. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Marlborough This Week. I'm Kristen Doucette. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again next week. Coming up right now in Marlborough this week, as Labor Day approaches, new details surface about this year's parade. The Vin Bin's new location takes 2 steps forward, plus, with an election deadline just 2 weeks away, another candidate for mayor has come forward. And coming up later in this half hour, a team from Grafton shares an inspiring story with our Rotary Club members. Those stories and more coming up right now on Marlborough This Week. Welcome to Marlborough This Week. I'm Kristen Doucette. Let's begin with this week's top story.
I'm so pleased to be here this afternoon to announce the 60th annual Marlborough Labor Day Parade, which will kick off at 12 noon on Monday, September 5th.
1 month ago, Mayor Nancy Stevens, Parade Director Ed Thurber, and Recreation Director David Grasso held a press conference right outside City Hall to unveil Labor Day Parade 2011 details. 1 month later and 1 month to go until Labor Day, Thurber needs the community's help in several areas. Donations and volunteers are the top 2.
I'm looking for volunteers, and those volunteers are required to help put the parade together on parade day.
Thurber is also looking for Grand Marshal nominations.
I'm asking that anybody that has anybody that they would like to see in the parade as our Grand Marshal to send me via email or regular mail and a description of all of the things that make this person wonderful.
This year's theme for the parade is Our Children, Our Future.
We are asking that everybody that is in the parade, that is the ones that are having floats and so forth, to please make their floats around that theme. We're also asking organizations, youth organizations within the city, youth football, youth baseball, youth soccer, church youth groups, all of those individuals and organizations, please make an effort to be in the parade.
To help organize all the needs of the parade, a brand new website has been launched at marlboroughLaborDayParade.org.
Everything is there, including the registration forms, which they can fill out right on the website. They can save them to their computer and then email them to me, and I will take care of them, get them registered, and let them know that they're in the parade.
In an effort to raise money for the parade, a raffle has been created with the help of one local company. Republic Waste Services has donated 4 Red Sox tickets to the Labor Day Parade Committee to use as prizes in a fundraiser for the parade. 2 pairs of 2 are being raffled off.
The raffle is $10 a ticket. The ticket value, the Red Sox ticket value, is $52, so this is an excellent winning for you to go.
You can purchase tickets at the Mayor's office in City Hall, the Main Street Cafe at 182 Main Street, the Marlborough Chamber of Commerce, or from any member of the Lions Club. The drawing will take place at City Hall on September 12th at 2 p.m. Winners do not have to be present. They will be notified, but they must pick up their tickets at City Hall. If you have any questions about the parade, again, please visit marlboroughLaborDayParade.org. The Urban Affairs Committee met on Monday night to further the discussion regarding a cancer care expansion at Marlborough Hospital. The committee voted unanimously to recommend the City Council approve a special permit to allow for construction of the $11.7 million expansion. The Urban Affairs Committee will make its report to the full City Council on Monday. The Finance Committee met on Tuesday night and has recommended the City Council accept a tax incentive proposal from an international wind turbine manufacturer. Officials and company representatives state the proposal will bring new jobs to the region. The committee voted unanimously to recommend the City Council accept the financing proposal from Vestas Technology R&D Americas Incorporated, the world's largest manufacturer of utility-scale wind turbines. A senior specialist for Vestas stated the company plans to lease office space at 100 Crowley Drive and build a 27,000 square foot research and development and testing facility on an adjacent property. In other business, the committee is recommending the City Council approve a $56.7 million bond authorization to repair the Easterly wastewater treatment plant. The renovation would take place at the facility at 860 Boston Post Road East. The The developer who proposed building condominiums on the historic Walker Estate has withdrawn the application for a special permit due to neighbors not being in favor of the plans. The special permit would have renovated the historic house on the Framingham Road property and converted it into condominiums. The City Council approved the request to withdraw the application. New plans have been submitted and will split the property into building lots for single-family homes, and the historic house will be torn down. The plans call for 5 lots on the site, which has about 700 feet of land along Framingham Road. The project would not require special permits. As construction continues in the first floor of 91 Main Street, just below our studios, for the VinBen's new location, the licensing board met on Wednesday night to discuss 2 requests. The board approved a temporary transfer of the shop's beer and wine license, as well as a full liquor license. Both still have to be approved by the state. With an election deadline just 2 weeks away, another candidate for mayor has come forward. A 42-year-old attorney, Matthew Jones, pulled nomination papers on Monday. City Council President Arthur Vigent, Jim Masso, and Nilsa Roman are already planning a run for mayor as well. Potential candidates have until August 12th, until 5 p.m., to pick up nomination papers at the city clerk's office. Still to come as we continue with Marlborough this week, an international lunch at the Senior Center. But first, you'll hear an inspiring story from a teen who has survived a brain injury. We're back with that story after this short break. Please stay with us.
Hi, firefighter Mark Asenko here with some safe summer tips for you. The number of water-related deaths has risen in the past few years. Here are a few tips to keep you and your loved ones safe. Do not overload your boat. Capsizing and falls overboard can lead to fatal accidents. Always be prepared. Make sure you wear your life jacket. Alcohol is the leading contributing factor to fatal boat accidents, so please do not drink and boat. And always remember, be smart, be aware, be water safe.
Welcome back to Marlborough this week. One Grafton teen who nearly died in a snowboarding accident spoke to the Marlborough Rotary Club on Thursday to spread awareness about brain injury and the importance of wearing a helmet.
If I didn't wear a helmet, I would have died, and that's a definite.
This week, Rotary Club members had a unique opportunity to hear about a brain injury from both a parent's perspective and the child's.
Brain injuries happen all the time, and it's something that people don't realize until it happens to you, and then you realize how many brain injuries there are.
The main message at this week's meeting was a brain injury changes the lives of their survivor, family members, and friends forever.
It's something that you never want to have to experience, but out of it has come some good in the respect that Sean and I are both ambassadors for the Brain Injury Association.
There are many survivors and family members who have shown extraordinary courage, and some have turned their tragedy into an opportunity to help others and save lives. Kelly and Sean Rowell, a mom and son from Grafton, have done just that and took a moment to visit Marlborough on Thursday afternoon to speak to Rotary Club members about their story. Sean Rowell nearly died in January of 2010 snowboarding at Loon Mountain in New Hampshire. He overshot a landing and was knocked unconscious. Sean's mom believes that if he had not been wearing a helmet that day, her son would not be here today to tell his story.
Sean was completely paralyzed on his left side. No trunk control from his waist up, couldn't hold his waist, anything up, his head, his neck.
I had to relearn how to walk and how to eat and basically do everything that I could have done in seconds before.
It took Sean months to recover from his accident. He's had to give up football and lacrosse because of his brain injury. But a year and a half later, Sean is doing remarkably well.
Sean completed 8th grade on time with the help of a tutor. He finished his freshman year at St. John's as an honors student.
The Brain Injury Association was crucial in the recovery of Sean Rowell and a good support for his family.
During Sean's recovery, the Brain Injury Association helped us quite a bit in terms of literature and books and research and just having a library and a resource center to go to and have people to talk to so that you know that you're not alone.
Through the organization's ambassador program, survivors and loved ones are able to go to different communities and share their stories. They vary in age and experience, but all share a desire to tell their stories to help others avoid this devastating tragedy.
A brain injury occurs
once every 23 seconds in our country. This is more frequent than many other conditions that we're accustomed to seeing in the news. The incidence of breast cancer, HIV/AIDS, heart attacks, and heart-related issues all occur actually less frequently, but most people are not aware of a brain injury.
Carlson says having real stories come out into the community is the best way to make people more aware of brain injuries.
I could certainly get up here and tell you the stories of the many survivors that I've met over the past several years, but the impact of having the individual themselves share it is really a poignant moment where you can get a sense that, you know what, this could happen to me or someone that I know. That's how close it is, whether it's a skiing accident or a car crash or a bicycle incident. We're all at risk every day, so we're here to talk about it, to make you aware of it, and hopefully prevent an injury.
The Senior Center on Main Street held a luncheon on Thursday afternoon with an international twist. We spoke with one of the members of the Council on Aging to learn more. A colorful event took place at the Senior Center on Main Street this week thanks to the dedicated staff at the Council on Aging.
We had people, from different backgrounds, and the seniors got to dress up in different costumes. We had a little contest, and it was very exciting. We had lots of different kind of food, Greek, Italian, Brazilian, American food. It was very, very exciting.
The event, which started at noon, featured belly dancing and international music.
We had a very special group of ladies, the gypsy belly dancing. They were awesome. It was really, really good. And the seniors had a lot of fun with the group.
This isn't the first time the Senior Center put on a luncheon like this one.
Before we done like Brazilian, just focus on the Brazilian food and things. So now Jennifer Claro, she kind of had this idea to be like more international, not so much just so Brazilian. So we just kind of had it like international. It's a lot of fun.
All guests were encouraged to wear their favorite international outfit. Everyone had a chance to learn about a different culture.
I think it's very important to introduce people with different culture and different food, so the other people feel welcome, in the Senior Center. So it's kind of like a good way to integrate with different people from different backgrounds.
Free workshops for kids have been going on throughout this summer at Memorial Beach, and there are 2 weeks left. Organizers are encouraging all kids to come out and learn about water and how it affects their community.
It's education and awareness and a lot of fun as well.
These outdoor community workshops offer children ages 6 to 10 a fun, hands-on chance to explore rivers, creatures, water conservation, and much more.
I'm always amazed at how kids are receptive to and almost have a sort of an intuitive understanding of why a lot of these very common sense things do make sense and collectively have an impact.
The 2011 workshops will be held from July 14th through August 11th at Memorial Beach on Thursdays from 9 to 11 a.m.
There will be 2 more this summer. Next week will be environmental photography, and that's led by another member of ORS, who's a professional photographer. That's always been a big hit with the kids. And then the final workshop is sort of a summation called Waterwise Wizards, where we take elements of all the workshops that we've held this summer and sort of bring them together into a final, kind of a closing set of activities.
Since 2004, the Organization for the Assabet River has offered these 6 Waterwise workshops. Through demonstrations, hands-on activities, lively group discussions, and personal interactions with plants and wildlife, the participants are encouraged to look closer at their own relationships with the environment and build on their knowledge of the natural world.
The workshops vary in terms of, from an awareness perspective, dealing with things like helping kids to understand and appreciate that that storm drains that may be located in their neighborhoods are actually connected to their watershed, and so things that they happen to pour down or put down the storm drains actually have an environmental impact, and that those ultimately connect to the rivers and other water bodies that make up the watershed.
Last summer, more than 100 children continued their education by taking part in the Waterwise workshops.
We try to make the kids feel empowered by making suggestions, and oftentimes they come up with their own suggestions of of things that they can do, behaviors that they can take back to their families, and even suggestions they can make to their parents about how to be more mindful and careful in how they treat the watershed.
Registration is required. Please call 978-369-3956 to register or to get more information.
Hopefully we're helping to build habits that they'll take with them as they grow older and become adults, and they can also influence the adults in their lives today.
Coming up, the Buddy Dog Animal Shelter in Sudbury is celebrating 50 years of service. Plus, we'll have your Pet of the Week. Don't move. We'll be right back.
Every 2 seconds, someone in America needs blood. Nearly 5 million Americans will need a life-saving blood transfusion this year alone.
Every blood donation can save up to 3 lives. While many people know about the chronic shortage in the blood supply across the country, very few people are doing anything about it.
We need your help. Giving blood is easy. It only takes about an hour of your time.
Be a hero. Be a blood donor. Help us save a life.
Welcome back to Marlborough This Week. The Buddy Dog Humane Society of Sudbury is celebrating their 50th anniversary this year. We spoke with our animal specialist, Gina Lettery, to find out how everyone can get involved in the celebration.
Buddy Dog was founded in 1961, which means that this is our 50th year of service. And we're having a lot of great celebrations to mark our 50th. A lot of people don't know about how we got started. There was some puppies that were abandoned in the dump, and back then there wasn't a landfill. It was just everybody brought their stuff and basically just dropped the bags, and eventually it was covered over. And someone heard the puppies in a bag yelping, and they realized that there weren't a lot of options back then for them, and they decided that they were going to do something about that and help all of these dogs that didn't have a place to go. So that's how Buddy Dog got started, and we've come a long way since then, and we do dogs and kitties now, and we've done thousands and thousands of pets over the year. To mark our 50th, we have lots of things going on, and it's going to culminate in October with Woofstock, which is a big festival with lots of vendors and music and prizes and information about Buddy Dog, and it's really going to be a great event. If you're interested in attending or would like to be a vendor, all of that information is on the Buddy Dog website, and you can contact us through the site. Today we have Archie, and Archie is an adorable little Maltese. He's about 8 years old. And if you're wondering about his eye, he has a condition called cherry eye. And he's going to be taking a ride to the veterinary ophthalmologist this week, because we're going to take care of that for him and have it fixed up, and he's going to be just as beautiful as ever. Archie is a wonderful pet who needs a little bit of weight loss. So if you're looking for an exercise partner, Archie could be a great pal. He needs a home with older children or maybe no kids at all. And he doesn't shed either, so that's a plus as well. If you'd like to know more about Archie or maybe even meet him, please give us a call at 978-443-6990.
And before we go, don't forget that you can find all the information you need on our Facebook page. Just search WMCT-TV and become a fan. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Marlborough This Week. I'm Kristen Doucette. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again next week.